might want to mess up your hair.
Mr. Holland.
Ladies.
Oh, good afternoon, cousin.
Your servant, sir. I trust I did not intrude upon your good lady by my visit.
No, please, allow me to present my good lady and my daughter, Miss Jane.
Won't you be seated, Mr. Collins?
Thank you.
I trust you had a pleasant journey.
Very pleasant, thank you. I have been looking forward to the pleasure of meeting with the other doctors, whose beauty I've heard much of.
How nice of you to say so.
In the case of Miss Jane, fame has fallen short of the truth.
Indeed, that is what everybody says.
I do not doubt that in due time you see them all well disposed in marriage.
Oh, you are very kind, I'm sure. And I do hope that it may be so, or else they will be destitute enough. Things are settled so oddly.
My dear, let us not go into that.
You allude, perhaps, to the entail of this estate.
I do indeed. It is a grievous affair to my poor girls. You must admit.
Quite right. And I was thinking.
Not that I mean to find fault with you.
I am very sensible, madame, to the hardship of my fair cousins. But I assure you, I came prepared to admire them. Ah, yes, and even more.
You're most kind.
Oh, Mr. Collins, please let me present my daughter, Miss Elizabeth.
I am honored.
Thank you. Mama, shall Jane and I oblige you by making sure Mr. Collins's room is in readiness?
I wish you would, my dear.
Oh, so sorry, sir.
As I was saying, I came prepared to admire your doctors. My patroness, Lady Catherine de Bourgh, has condescended upon me that a clergyman such as myself needs a wife.
Oh, Mr. Collins!
And I was hoping that a mistress for my household could be found here at Longbourn.
Oh, so that is what you meant by making amends.
It is, my dear sir. You're welcome.
What a compliment to our girls, Mr. Bennet. As to my younger daughters, I can't take it upon me to say, but I don't know of any prepossession.
And as for Miss Jane?
I feel it incumbent on me to hint that Jane is likely to be soon engaged.
I see. Well, in point of seniority, Miss Elizabeth is next.
Oh, she is quite unattached.
A very charming young lady indeed.
I'm so sorry. Call for something.
At present, I am afraid of appearing precipitate and forward. At present, I will say no more, but perhaps when we are better acquainted.
Oh, my dear Mr. Collins.
Well, since I am assured that my welcome is indeed cordial, I shall instruct your man to bring in my bags.
Did you hear that, Mr. Bennet? He wants to marry one of our girls.
I still have my hearing.
Since Mr. Bingley is so taken with Jane, Elizabeth is the perfect choice for Mr. Collins.
My dear, you are silly as your dog.
I am astonished that you can think your own children silly. They are all of them very clever.
You'll excuse me if I think differently about the three youngest.
You must not expect them to have the sense of their mother.
Oh, heaven! Your move, Mr. Collins.
Are these flowers beautiful, Mr. Collins?
Magic.
Oh, my deepest apologies, Mr. Collins.
They're quite passable for a small garden. My own humble abode is separated only by a lane from Lady Catherine's beautiful estate, where there's a veritable profusion of bloom.
I dare say Lady Catherine is a very agreeable woman.
She is thought to be proud by many, but I have never seen anything but affability in her.
Your move.
I think you said she is a widow. Has she any family?
One daughter.
What sort of young lady is she? Is she handsome?
Unfortunately, she is of a unfortunate disposition.
Your move.
Has she been presented at court?
Her indifferent state of health unhappily prevents that. As I was telling Lady Catherine, the British court is missing its brightest ornament.
Your move.
Her ladyship seemed pleased with the idea.
If you'll observe, Mr. Collins, I have your last king in the corner.
Oh yes, a trivial game.
If you'll excuse me, I shall spend a little time in my library.
I was hoping that your daughters would gather here this afternoon as I read from this elevating volume, Forces Summons.
How interesting. The girls would have loved it, but they are out. Jane, as you know, is still visiting at Netherfield.
Yes, Mr. Bingley has taken quite an interest.
Oh, how happy I will be, Mr. Collins, when my daughters are well settled.
Quite. I was hoping to have a word with Miss Elizabeth this afternoon.
Oh, dear me, yes. I'm sure Lizzie will be very happy.
Well, in that case, would you please a letter when I arrive?
I will tell her as soon as she comes in.
Thank you.
Oh. How can you understand my feelings, Mr. Bennet? You are not a mother. Just speak with her. Come, Jane.
Dear Mama, don't go! I beg of you to stay. Mr. Collins must excuse me, but he has nothing to say to me that anybody need not hear.
Nonsense, Lizzie. Stay where you are.
Please, Mama.
Such modesty.
Lizzie, I insist upon your staying and hearing, Mr. Collins.
Believe me, your modesty adds to your other perfections. You would have been less amiable in my eyes had there not been this little unwillingness.
Oh,
Allow me to assure you that I have your respected mother's permission for this address.
you have.
The moment I set foot in this household, I singled you out as the companion for my future life. But before I let my feelings run away from me, let me first state my reasons for coming here expressly to select a wife.
Mr. Collins.
Please. Firstly, I believe it is the right thing for a clergyman, such as myself, to set an example in this parish. And secondly, that it will add greatly to my happiness. And third, is that the particular advice and recommendation of my patroness, Lady Catherine de Bourgh, who twice has condescended to give me her advice and asks. She believes that the woman I choose should be a gentle sort of woman, not fortified, but able to make a small income go a long ways. I am, well, aware that £1,000 and 4% is all that will be yours when your mother passes. I assure you, I will never reproach you on that score. And all that is left for me to do is to prove to you the violence of my affection.
You are too hasty. I thank you for your generous offer, but I must decline it.
Come, come. I know that it's usual for a young lady, such as yourself, to act embarrassed and unwilling, while all the time her heart is fluttering with wild panic.
Upon my word, sir, you are a hard man to discourage.
I shall lead you to the altar ere long.
But I am perfectly serious in my refusal. You could not make me happy, and I am the last woman in the world who can make you so.
My dear Miss Elizabeth.
Were your friend Lady Catherine to know me, I'm sure she would find me in every respect unqualified for the situation.
I know what you're doing. You are trying to increase my love by suspense. As most elegant females do. I beg you, hold me off no longer. Confess your love.
Really, Mr. Collins, can I speak plainer? I'm no elegant female out to plague you. I'm a rational creature speaking the truth from my heart.
Oh, Miss Elizabeth, most adorable of creatures, be mine.
Oh, Mr. Collins, please, you are mad, quite mad.
Miss Elizabeth. Ow!
Congratulations to you both.
Oh, I am overwhelmed with happiness. My dear Mr. Collins. Lizzie, my darling child.
Spare us your congratulations, Mamma. I have declined Mr. Collins's generous offer.
Lizzie!
Protect her at once!
Depend on it, she will be brought to reason.
She seems quite definite.
Oh, she is a very foolish, headstrong girl.
Foolish. Headstrong.
She takes after her father in that respect. But I will bring a stubborn girl to reason.
Stubborn too. Perhaps if she has such defects in her temper, perhaps it would be best not to press her upon me.
You misunderstand me, Mr. Collins. I only meant that Lizzie is headstrong in matters such as these. In everything else, she is the sweet-natured girl that ever lived. Really, really.
Is that an eligible bachelor for your girls? Some other time, my dear Mrs. Bennet, I was too good for Elizabeth anyway.
Mr. Bennet!